EU foreign ministers are meeting in the Ukrainian city of Lviv to discuss Ukraine's progress towards joining the European Union. Now, 26 of the 27 EU member states support Ukraine in its bid to join. Only Hungary is opposed. But as an EU member state, Hungary can block Ukraine's accession. Kyiv applied for EU membership after Russia's 2022 invasion and gained candidate status months later. The European Commissioner for Enlargement, Marta Kos, said Ukraine's membership is non-negotiable for lasting peace and stability.
Ukraine's future is clear in the EU, and we see in the European Commission the membership of Ukraine in the EU as a political arm of the European security guarantee for Ukraine. It's the surest way for the prosperous and stable Ukraine, and this will be central to make any peace settlement sustainable. This is why, together with the Ukrainian government, we have yesterday decided on an action plan of 10 reform priorities. They all focus on strengthening the rule of law, fighting corruption and building the strong, accountable democratic institutions in Ukraine.
Let's cross to Lviv now, where DW Special Correspondent Nimisha Jaiswal is covering that meeting for us. And we can also bring in Christine Mhundwa, our correspondent in Brussels. Nimisha, first of all, tell us more about what was discussed today. Was any progress made?
Well, Anya, as usual, a lot of technical jargon to cut through, but the main takeaway seems to be that they're trying to figure out a way for Ukraine to continue making progress towards its accession, despite Hungary blocking the door to even start the process. And this is that Ukraine is going to do all its technical homework so that the moment the door opens, the moment Hungary's veto is removed, it can run straight through. And this 10-point reform plan that Commissioner Kos mentioned is a big part of that. It includes mention of strengthening NABU and SAPO, Ukraine's anti-corruption bodies. And the ministers here did not shy away from acknowledging questions about the corruption scandal. The Ukrainian minister even said that this did cast a shadow, but that there is a lot of confidence here that that can be overcome, that Ukraine has every intention to continue fighting corruption and strengthening its institutions. And as the EU Commissioner also said, that this accession is going to be an important part of any peace plan and to strengthen Ukraine to be able to achieve that peace as well.
Christine, explain to us how this meeting today fits into the broader EU push for integrating Ukraine into the European Union.
Yeah, and it is that, Anya, it is a push, really. The idea here is to keep that momentum going. You might recall, Anya, that Ukraine applied for EU membership days after the invasion by Russia, and it was granted candidate status fairly quickly. So a lot of steps were expedited because Ukraine was an exceptional case. And what the European Union is really trying to do is keep that momentum going, even though you have your challenges. So as Nimisha was saying there, the language is very technical because the process itself is very technical. But engagements at a high level like this, where you've got the ministers coming, a lot of groundwork has to happen before they meet. And of course, when they sit in the room, they can take decisions at a high level, which also then clear the way for more steps to be taken. So this is really important in the sense that it's just helping the Ukrainians keep that momentum going. This is a process, joining the EU, that can take decades. And so the more meetings, especially at a high level like this, the more commitments, the more steps that can be taken in an expedited pace is really helpful.
OK, so a big focus on keeping the momentum going, but Hungary's minister turned down the invitation to be there today. So, Nimisha, tell us what the reaction has been to the fact that Hungary is essentially missing from these talks.
Well, Anya, given that they were talking about a fellow member, the language was fairly strong here from the ministers. One said it was regrettable. The other said that Hungary is misusing its veto. One even went on to say that this was un-European to continue blocking Ukraine and not support its bid. The Ukrainian minister himself said that this does not mean that there is a dialogue not continuing with Hungary, that Ukraine continues to talk to Hungary and appeal to it to remove its veto, and that he said that the best way to address Hungary's concerns concerns, including the rights of minorities, Hungarian minorities within Ukraine, as well as a future peace for Ukraine, is by actually allowing for this accession. So a lot of confidence expressed here as well that the Hungarian veto can be gotten around, but no clear path really for how they plan to do that.
All right, so we've got confidence but no clear path. So, Christine, is today essentially about sending a message of unity from Lviv, despite these challenges that are in the way?
Absolutely, and one might even argue that is the reason for that, because there are these significant challenges. It is, I mean, these ministers, these European affairs ministers, all going to Lviv. One could argue this meeting could have happened virtually, right? But them being there, it is really the defiance in terms of the message what they want to send, but also a message to the Ukrainian people to say, we as the European Union stand by you in your ambition to become a part of the club, so to say, that this is a realistic goal. And I think just to boost the morale within the Ukrainian population at a time where, for example, NATO membership seems to completely be off the table given the position in the United States. But just that reassuring message to say Europe still stands by you, and that, yes, there could be challenges here and there, but we are committed to this and we will provide the necessary support to ready Ukraine for its eventual membership in the European Union. This is the message that Brussels wants to communicate with this trip by these European ministers to Lviv.
And what's the timeline we're looking at here, Nimisha, in terms of Ukraine's EU membership ambitions?
That's an interesting one, Anya. It came up a lot over here. Now, the Danish presidency minister said that she would not want to comment on an exact timeline, but that no standards would be lowered. This is referring to the corruption scandal, of course. The Ukrainian minister said that he expects the accession to take place by 2028, so they have 24 months to do their homework. And the reported peace deal points may actually mention 2027. But the thing to remember here is that a ceasefire may be crucial to even find out what exact part of Ukraine is accessing to the EU. And next year, Cyprus is taking over the presidency. And that's an interesting country as well, because Cyprus itself has a UN Green Line going through it. The northern part of Cyprus that is Turkish-controlled actually does not, has suspended EU membership rules. And that could be an interesting case study for Ukraine to come through as it tries to negotiate a ceasefire or even potentially a peace deal.
Nimisha Jaiswal reporting from Lviv, and Christine Mhundwa in Brussels. Thank you so much to you both.